What's up, y'all? We knocking them out today. I told y'all I'd be back in just a couple minutes with another vid. And what are we talking about on the same day after that Call of Duty BS? Dead Space, the remake. Now, I hate admitting when I'm wrong, but I'm a man, so I will. And I was wrong about the Dead Space remake. I was wrong about the Callisto Protocol. I don't like the Callisto Protocol. Damn near at all. If I could get my $70 back, I would. I don't lose hope in Glenn Schofield because he dropped a little dud. Sometimes you drop a masterpiece. Sometimes you drop a dud. But it was just unacceptable. So thank God EA Motive came through with the Dead Space remake. Now, let me just go ahead and say that the Dead Space remake, it ain't perfect, but it is damn near. Here's the only real problems I have with the Dead Space remake. Isaac's animations are better. Like, I'm completely fine with how he moves. I remember back in the old vid, when I first started, and I think when the game was announced, like, not announced, but when they first showed gameplay, it was like, nah, this shit look weak, this don't look good, but like rushing, trying to beat Glenn. And now looking at it, it's starting to seem like Glenn was rushing out Callisto to beat Dead Space, which you shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have done that. You should have just focused, Glenn. Back to Dead Space. Now, the necromorph animations, I still do not like. If anybody remembers playing Dead Space, the original Dead Space 1, really just the first two, I don't remember 3 that much, but the necromorphs were completely visceral, pun intended. But for real, they were absolutely savage. Like, you shoot the head off of them and they just start going bat shit crazy. Like, it's ridiculous. It was truly scary. The full sprint they would do, just screaming and throwing their blades all over the place. That is not here at all. This is what all the necromorphs look like when they're coming after you. When all the necromorphs are coming after you, this is what the necromorphs look like. It's just that. Like, it's literally just necromorph walking at you like it's just that. There's no like, it's no craziness like that to really scare you. It's just the necromorph pops out, he looks at you, and then he's coming at you. Like, it's just, now the game is tense when there's a shit ton of things coming at you at once. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's tense. But you know, there's none of the crazy, like, they only do one attack really. Like, they do a leaping one that happens once every 3 or 4 chapters, I swear to God. And then there's just the like, they lunge their shit at you. It's just that. And it's really not all, you know, the game, with the way they do lighting and sound design and how they overwhelm you. What is it, the horror director, whatever it is behind the scenes doing all this crazy shit, you know, that is all like really good. It's just how the necromorphs act, you know. They're just not as deadly or brutal as they were back in the day. And I honestly think they could patch that in. They could. But if they don't, and here's when you fix it, EA Motive. Here's when you fix it, right? Listen up real quick, because we already know the Dead Space 2 remake. It's coming. It's gonna come. This game did great, and like, I think even if it would have just barely broken even, it's so highly praised, I don't think that they would. It's coming. People are saying don't remake Dead Space 2 because, honestly, Dead Space 2 is perfect. OG Dead Space 1 and 2, that is like the best. Like, honestly, even out of like cinema, like horror, like Dead Space 1 and 2, playing those back to back is one of the best horror stories like told. You know, Like, it could have ended on 2, and it would have been perfectly fine. But Dead Space 2 remake, I'm all in. I want it. I want it so bad. So bad. In Dead Space 2 remake, what that does though, it would give them the opportunity to fix these little complaints that I have. And the other really complaint that I have is just a couple of the voice actors. I like Kendra's voice actress. She pretty much damn near sounded like the original one. She did a really good job, and her I think she added even more emotion than what Daniels was back in the day. Hammond is a problem for me. I like the arc and what Hammond goes through in this game more than the first one. I just wish the OG Hammond's voice actor would have came back, because he was a lot more urgent, you know, like he felt like he was truly like not prepared for any of the shit he was about to go through. This one kind of sounds like he's been through a necromorph, you know, outbreak before. It was just kind of weird. And second one, Kyne, this voice actor for Kyne is just not good. There's no personality to him. He sounds like a generic white guy voice actor. You know, just some white dude that's in a show. Like, if you can have an extra in an animation, like, he just sounds like a white extra that's animated and is just talking to the main character while he's in the coffee shop. You know, like he's the coffee retailer dude. Like, it just, like, you'll know. Go listen to Kyne from Dead Space from 07 and then listen to Kyne in the remake. It's just completely different, you know. And to give you another example, just, I don't want that to sound really weird, and some people may think that's weirdly racist or something, or prejudiced, but it's like that song, boot up, boot up, boot up, boot up. It's like the girl singing that song. I don't get why that song's famous. She doesn't even have that unique of a voice. She sounds like that black girl voice that you know, that girl in the hood that you know a couple blocks down that can sing. So, oh yeah, that's Shania. She can sing real good. That's what she sounds like. Same thing here with Kyne. Just sounds like your generic white guy voice actor. That's all it sounded like. There's nothing special about Kyne in this. But let's go back to positives and talking about later in Dead Space 2. I love the remake. Those are all my problems with the remake, and I would give it like a 9.5 out of 10, honestly. Like, it's up there. Opening up the whole Ishimura, it's exactly, when I heard this was coming out, that's exactly what I wanted. Everything taken from Dead Space 2 and putting it in the first one, that's exactly what they did, and it was even better than I thought it could have been, you know. Just work on the necromorphs, make them more visceral. I don't know if that can really be fleshed out though, because Frostbite, if anybody who's played Battlefield campaigns, Frostbite AI suck. They're fucking stupid. Like, they're clueless. The ones on your team and the enemies, clueless AI. So I don't know if they can get in there and tweak it to make the necromorph AI smarter and like how it was back in the OGs, but I'll accept it if it doesn't, because I know the Frostbite engine sucks when it comes to programming smart AI. If you played any Battlefield campaign, you know this. So I'll give them a little pass because of the engine they're working on, but like, hopefully they can like make a compromise and make in with the AI in the second one. But yeah, just do everything you did with Dead Space Remake and do it with the second one. And because like I said a few minutes ago, I heard people saying don't remake Dead Space 2, it's already perfect. Bro, people were saying don't remake Dead Space 1, and look at us, we're loving it. If Motive does the same treatment to 2 like they did with the first one, and you don't take anything away but you add, you don't change the story of Dead Space 2, you don't change what happens in Dead Space 2, but you just add, I'm happy. I'm completely happy. But let's really get down to the nitty-gritty of this video now. You know, 10 minutes in, we're finally getting to the nitty-gritty. Dead Space 3. Do not remake Dead Space 3. Let me finish. Don't remake Dead Space 3. I mean, remake Dead Space 3. You know, don't, like, rewrite the story. Like, remake everything from the ground up. The only thing you can keep, in my opinion, like, if you remake Dead Space 2 and it sells even more and it does even better than Dead Space 1 remake did, and you know for a fact that they're gonna do a Dead Space 3, motive, write your own conclusion to this trilogy, to this remake trilogy. Do not remake everything from Dead Space 3. Do not do what you did with this one and what I assume you'll do with the second one without, like, you know, Dead Space 3, change the whole damn story. Change it all. I don't care. You know, I don't. If you still want to, like, keep to where you maybe at some point we have to fight humans, like, I don't mind, like, you know, if we have to fight unitologists, that's cool, but you got to make it make sense. Dead Space 3 was just too dumb. Okay, here are the only things I will accept you keeping from Dead Space 3. The Blood Moon shit, like the necromorph planets, you can keep that idea, that's cool. The ice planet, because it gives real The Thing vibes. I like the ice planet. If you want to keep that in the game, fine, that's cool. And Carver, you can keep Carver. I don't mind Carver, but do not make Dead Space 3 remake co-op. Do not. And if you are going to make Dead Space 3 a co-op game, if you're going to keep co-op embedded in it, then you need to really rework the whole system. The whole system. And you already know what you need to get rid of. I do not want that fucking customization, build your own weapons, make a nail gun with a shotgun and a flamethrower at the end of it. I don't want none of that. Don't do that. And if you are gonna do that, do not monetize it. I don't mind games being monetized. I don't mind microtransactions. But when you're making stuff that is essential to the core gameplay of the story, and I have to buy stuff, don't do it. Don't do it. And if you're gonna keep co-op in the game, do not make it so I can't go to certain areas. Like, if I go up to a fucking door, I better not see the words co-op on it and I can't open it. Don't do it. Honestly, just keep Carver in the game. Because I like the story of Carver. The audio logs you find and the stuff you learn about him going throughout the game. I like Carver's story. He's a good character. But just don't do co-op. Honestly, I would say treat Dead Space 3 like, let me say this. Hold on. Because I'm about to order some food, baby. Be at Wendy's, I'm still on the line. Honestly, I would say though, just swap characters. Have it some missions you're playing as Isaac, have some missions maybe Carver. It's the only thing I'll accept. And please.
1 second.
No problem. And please, if you were going, do not keep that asshole that is dating Ellie in Dead Space 3. Don't. I don't know what his name is. I'm just gonna say the white asshole, because that's exactly what he was. Ellie would not have just left Isaac. Even if he was going crazy, she would not have just left him. Just, if you're gonna do Dead Space 3 remake, just have Isaac and Ellie be in a relationship or something. Just do that. At the end of Dead Space 2, he moves on from Nicole. Such a beautiful ending. I absolutely love the ending of Dead Space 2. It's perfect. Because it's just like the first one. He's sitting there, he's in the ship. He's like, fucking finally. But then he's like, oh God, she's gonna be there, I know it. And he looks over and he sees Ellie. And she's just like, what? I love that ending.
Give me 1 second.
No problem. I love that ending. So, just... if you're gonna do Dead Space 3, do it right. Don't do co-op. Keep Carver. Have Ellie and Isaac doing something. If they're not in a relationship, just have them still be together in some type of way, friends, and don't have her dating some type of asshole that Isaac and the players have to be infuriated with the whole damn game until he finally dies. Don't do that again. Just don't do that again. But I can't wait, you know. I really think that Motive could revitalize this franchise and make a great trilogy and not just a duo. I really think the trilogy can be good if EA just doesn't do something stupid. Like if they do Dead Space 2 remake and it sells more than this one, just let them do Dead Space 3 the way they want to do it. Don't interfere. Don't try to put a battle pass system in. Can I get a Baconator combo?
1 second, okay? 1 second.
These motherfuckers are stupid. But
Single, double, or triple?
double.
Single?
Double.
Okay. What's for your drink, sir?
I'll do Dr. Pepper. Can I do no ketchup, extra mayonnaise on it?
No ketchup, extra mayonnaise?
Yes, please.
$12.59, second window.
Thank you. Alright, y'all. That's the vid. I want to keep sitting here and showing y'all my ugly face, and plus I got to get my card out and shit. But that's what I feel about the Dead Space remake. It's great. I hope they do Dead Space 2 remake and 3, but just completely redesign 3. Just fucking asshole. Completely redesign 3 from the bottom up. Just everything about it, redesign it. You know? That's the first game in the franchise. When it comes to the story, you can completely rework the damn story. I don't think fans would have a problem with that. And any fan that comes out and says don't change it, fucking ignore them. Ignore them. They are in the minority if they like that Dead Space 3 story the way it is. They are in the minority EA Motive. Ignore them. Damn, my blonde that look good. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace.